All right, y'all. So today I want to talk to y'all about honoring your cyclical nature. This is particularly for my ladies who are in that perimenopause phase. So that would be your late 30s to early to mid 40s and a little bit beyond, like right before menopause actually happens, right? So I want to talk about this because when we're growing up, we always hear women talk about how hard it is to lose weight, and it does become harder, and it's backed by science. I'm not going to get all scientific with y'all today, but I do want to talk about really getting in sync with yourself and knowing where you are in your cycle so that you can live your best life within it, because there's nothing that we can do to change our cycles. So whether you experience a actual menstrual cycle or not, we're always experiencing changes, hormonal fluctuations, etc., which affects our mood, energy, creativity, how strong we feel, how pretty we feel, all of it. So if you've noticed some weeks where you feel a little bit more magnetic, a little bit more energetic, and then some weeks you feel a little less so, or a lot less, that's just your body's natural rhythm. And honoring your cyclical nature can be a game changer. And so if you're wondering what cycle syncing is, it's the practice of aligning your lifestyle, your workouts, your self-care routine, your creative pursuits, everything, and aligning it with your menstrual cycle. It's recognizing the fact that your hormones, your energy, and your emotions are constantly shifting. And instead of fighting it, you learn to flow with it. So biologically, as women, we grow through phases. There are 4 of them in our menstrual cycle, and that's menstrual, follicular, ovulatory, and luteal. Each one of those phases brings a different kind of energy, right? So in your menstrual phase, your period has started. Energy is low, you're feeling a little weaker and tired, and you really have to honor and feed your body what it needs at that time, which is rest and good nutritious food. Also during the menstrual phase, you should be doing a lot of journaling, meditating, and restful, easeful stretching and walking. And if you experience a lot of cramping or anything, think warm foods that keep the muscles in the body relaxed. So next is the follicular phase. This is where you're going to be feeling really fresh with your energy. You're going to feel motivated. And this is also a great time to start new projects and brainstorm on how you're going to execute. You'll also be feeling more social. So that means you can go ahead and schedule those meetings you've been putting off and film some content. You'll also feel your strength returning, so you're going to be able to increase the intensity of your workouts. So next is the ovulatory phase. This is the phase where when you go out, you notice that you're getting a lot of compliments, you feel good about yourself, and you're a little bit more gregarious than the week before. This is basically in nature when we're supposed to be attracting a mate. This is also where you'll probably be doing your most challenging workouts, where you'll lift a lot heavier than you normally do, or you want to go for a PR, you definitely can, but you'll have the energy and the strength to do so. So next is the luteal phase. This is where you'll be feeling a little bit more introspective. You'll start feeling like your energy is decreasing a little bit more. And this is where you'll want to shift into slower, gentler workouts. So think yoga, think Pilates, think lighter weights. This is also the time where you need to be a little bit more compassionate with yourself. Don't try to push yourself too hard. Give into 1 or 2 of those cravings, but don't go crazy, because you got to have a little bit of comfort food, but also remember to eat foods that are mostly anti-inflammatory. So that would be avocado, sweet potato, blueberries, things like that. Also, you want to make sure you get in those foods that are rich in magnesium and prioritize your rest. This is not the phase to put additional stress on your body. I'm going to give you guys a personal example. Last December, when I restarted my fitness journey, I was really like, I'm going to go hard. And then I started noticing that the week before my period, those 25, 30-pound weights in each hand weren't gonna cut it. Even the 10-pound weights felt super, super heavy. And I had to ask myself, why am I doing this? Why am I forcing this on myself? I'm literally putting more stress on my body. I'm obviously feeling weak and stressed, and then I'm gonna make myself strain even more. It just didn't make any sense. And then over the weeks, I started paying attention to when I felt my most strong self. And I would take advantage of those times and go heavier on my lifts and go for long endurance rides on my bike with heavy resistance. But during that menstrual phase, I don't work out at all anymore because my body is trying to rest. I notice when I'm spending that resting time and being quiet, I get the most creative, awesome downloads that I can implement later on. As you guys may or may not know, I'm also a yogi. So learning about yogic philosophy has been eye-opening because it's also taught me a better way of living. So in yogic philosophy, it's focused on how everything moves in cycles, day and night, the seasons, the rhythm of your breath, everything. Our feminine energy, our Shakti, is deeply tied to those rhythms. And so when we honor those cycles, we're honoring the flow of life itself. Instead of forcing something, productivity, work, exercise, etc. Yoga teaches us to observe, to listen, and to respond with awareness. And that's the kind of self-awareness that changes things. You start to remove certain labels that you may have placed on yourself before. I'm moody, I'm lazy, inconsistent, or whatever else you may have said about yourself. You begin to understand that every phase serves a specific purpose. And that's the kind of self-awareness that changes everything, because now instead of working against your body, you're flowing and working with it. And if you've made it this far, I want to go ahead and close with an affirmation because I think it would be so powerful right about now. Close your eyes and repeat after me. I honor the rhythm within me. Each phase of my body, of my life, holds its own power. My body knows how to rise. My body knows how to rest. And I am complete within it all. I trust the cyclical nature, the rhythm, and the wisdom of my body. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.